Hi. Since the thrift stores are closed, I thought I would take this opportunity to take a look in my own home and find my most favorite thrifted finds. And I have picked things that I haven't shown to you before because I got them before I started making videos. It always felt a little fake showing old things, but now it's a really good reason to do that. Before I get started, I kind of want to address something. You might think, wow, your hair is short. You're not wrong. Let me tell you a little story about this. We were about 2 weeks into staying at home, not going out unless you have to, when I noticed my hair was getting quite long. And normally I always cut it myself, which surprisingly always goes very well. I always ask my husband to make sure that the back is even. This time I thought, well, if I'm just gonna do like an example snip of the length that I'm looking for, he can do the rest, right? Wrong. Let's just say that once he started hacking through my hair like you would cut a hedge, I knew it wasn't going very well, and he showed me what he had done, which was way shorter than my example snip. And let's just say it wasn't pretty. I mean, I got quite upset. He fled to the attic, repeating, "You shouldn't have let me do this. I knew this was gonna go wrong." And then I decided, well, let's just try to even it out, because I couldn't go to the hairdressers because, you know, they're closed. And it has been 3 weeks now, I think, which means that it was way worse before. It's gonna grow back. It's not a big deal. There are definitely worse things in the world. By the way, I'm wearing this braid to kind of distract you from the fact that my hair is very short. So I hope it works. So yeah, let's get started with the real purpose of this video, which is showing you my favorite thrifted finds from my life so far. I don't know how I'm gonna call this video, but let's just see. I have to say they're all on the floor in front of me, and there's a theme. It's green and floral, pretty much. Small detail, I did have to dust off all of these things because I'm just not great at dusting necessarily, especially when things are high up on a shelf somewhere and I don't see the dust. I see it as a protective layer. Alright, let's get started. So, first up is this. You could almost call it like a Mary Poppins bag, but it isn't. It's a tea cozy. It opens up like this. But you put your teapot in here. I mean, not just randomly, but make sure that it's on the table or the counter, and then put your teapot in there, and it keeps it warm. And I just really love that print. I think it's beautiful. It's floral, so it's fine with me. But yeah, I really love that. And I just noticed I will include some up-close shots that it says DE on here, which I'm assuming is from Douwe Egberts, which is a coffee and tea brand that still exists today and was a very big staple back in the day. So I have 3 of these in different sizes and shapes, pretty much, and this is definitely my favorite. It is this foot stove, which has been decorated with gorgeous florals. Especially love the top with the hearts cut out. I found this in a home decor store that had an attic with all kinds of vintage, pretty much like a thrift store, but a little bit more expensive. So this was 10 euros, I remember. And we were actually in a different city, and we were going to the movies, and we're going to have dinner. And I thought, am I going to take this with me and carrying it around for the rest of the day? Yes, of course I was. And I'm very happy I did, because it's just really pretty and I'm very happy with it. And every time I see it, I'm like, yes, that was worth it. Right, I was going to explain what is a footstool if you're not familiar with it. They would put like a ceramic bowl or a metal bowl with burning coal in it, and then you would put your feet on it and then put your skirts over it, or a blanket if you didn't have any skirts that were long enough, and that way your feet would be warm. Then a smaller version of that is this wooden one, which I love the carvings of, which I'm using right now to put a plant on. But look at that detail, I really, really love that. And then I have this little baby one, which also has that heart. I think this is mainly ornamental, so I don't think you can do anything with it. I really love those. So that's the third one I have. Then I have this vinegar. What is this called? Krug. Jug. This vinegar jug. I think it's pretty. Very 70s. Very 70s for sure. But I like it. I cannot not have a tin in any video, pretty much, I think. So here we are. This pretty green floral, I told you there was a theme, floral tin, which I paid $3.50 for, and I actually keep my embroidery threads and scissors in there for the project I'm working on right now, which is still the Mary Poppins cross stitch thing. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know. And then there's this, to me she looks like a souvenir doll. I would say, where are you from? Can you tell me where you're from? It doesn't say anything. I mean, it's very detailed. As you can see, it's been embroidered, and the skirt has lots of pleats. Just kind of want to show you that she is wearing underwear and tights, and these, I mean, the detail in this thing is incredible. It looks very like Hungarian maybe. This is from when people made good quality souvenirs. I need a name for her. I haven't called you anything yet. Does anyone recognize this style or the dress or anything? Let me know in the comments below, please, because I would love to know. Then I've got this piggy bank, which I think is a weird name for something that's not shaped like a piggy. But anyway, I think that's the right term. This is interesting because it is a 1-cent coin of our previous currency, which was the gulden, the guilder. You can hang it here. It's empty, but oh well. Right. Next up is something I have to be careful with because I could break it. It's this set of like a milk jug and a sugar pot, which look very 70s to me, but I really love the shape and the pattern, which I honestly don't know what it is, but it's cute. We have kind of like a mantle beat above our stove, and they're there and they're cute. So yeah, I like them. Very fitting with the theme and color scheme of this video are these cutting boards, which, I mean, I love them. They are so pretty. If I had to choose, I would pick this one as my favorite, but they're beautiful. Obviously, I'm not using them as a cutting board, but these are decorative things. I am planning to put them up, but I'm not a big fan of drilling. I really love anything that has this beautiful floral pattern on it. I really kind of want to learn to do this, by the way. It's a specific style of painting. shall we? Then, this huge green kettle, which we found when we were staying at a bed and breakfast somewhere, and there was a thrift store, and we found this one, and it's just really pretty. The bottom is kind of like weirdly shaped, so it doesn't really stand straight, but I really don't mind. There's another thing that I don't have with me right now because I didn't think it was wise to do that. I will insert a clip of what it is right now. It is this beautiful painting that we found at a vintage fair. The guy who was selling it was willing to go down to 75 euros for it. And I'm really glad we got it. It looks to me like a scene, like a street in Amsterdam. I'm not really sure if it is painted to look like an exact place or if it's like a fantasy street. I'm guessing it's the beginning of the 20th century. There is a signature, but very difficult to read, and I don't really care who made it. I just really love the look of it. I love the colors, I love the tree. It's very autumnal to me, and I love the curtains in the windows, and yeah, I really love that. You may have seen this in the giveaway video in the background. It's this beautiful lamp. I mean, the colors are great. It had a hideous, ooh, there's lots of dust on here, thank you. It had a hideous lampshade, which I took off immediately. I just put in like a vintage looking bulb. Still kind of looking for a nice shade to go with it, but I don't know if I will be able to find it. The colors, the shape, the pattern, this was handmade and painted, and it's just, yeah, I'm really glad that I found this. Just gorgeous. I think it's really, really old. It has this gold electrical cord, which says made in France, by the way. That's interesting. This is not necessarily as old as the lamp itself. I think this is quite an old piece. It has a 9 or a 6 on the bottom, but I can't get over the fact that I found this at the thrift store and paid probably $3.50 for this, I guess. I don't really have it turned on that much because it only has this plug and it doesn't have any, like, what's it called? Switch. So, you would have to go down to the socket and then plug it in, which is not a big deal, but I mean, it's pretty and I really love it. Then another thing I wanted to show you, which I will show close-up shots of, is this chair that I'm sitting in, because that also is a thrifted find. Surprise, surprise. Now, maybe you think it's hysterical or hideous, but the story goes as follows. We were going to a thrift store and we didn't have a car yet, so we were going by public transport. And I actually remember saying to my husband, okay, so we don't need any furniture because we don't have the room. Also, it's really difficult to take that home on the bus and a train. So, I would advise never to say such a thing because you are going to find something of the kind that you say you don't need, right? So I remember us walking into the store and I was still looking on the left. We just walked in and I heard my husband kind of like gasp, which is a weird sound coming from him. And he said, "Oh, we need that." And yeah. And I turned around and said, "What?" And then saw this chair standing there, and I mean, it reminds me a little of like a Victorian sleigh crossed with a Napoleon Regency kind of Greek Roman vibe. Like, I don't know what it is, but I love the color. The fabric is really great. I love the color of the wood. The state was perfect. And the price? This is why we couldn't leave it behind. It was 35 euros. 35 euros. And we didn't have a car, so we asked how much it was going to be and if it was going to be possible for them to deliver it to us, because it was quite close to us. And they said, yeah, sure. So all in all, it was 50 euros. I would have regretted it so much if we wouldn't have gotten it. And it took a week to be delivered, and I was so worried that it was going to be too big. And when it got here, it was great. It was fine. And yeah, I'll just show you up close, and you can judge for yourself. It's the kind of chair that when you're like laying down, it's very hard to get out of. Yeah. I guess that was it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye!